Hi class, I wanted to use this video to take the opportunity to introduce this course, Sociology 213, Sociology of Deviance, and myself. I'm Darrin Kowitz, your instructor for this class. It's fall 2011. And like I said, this is Soc 213, Sociology of Deviance Online. So I want to say just a few things here about the course to get us started. I'll go over some of the details, the technical details on WebCT about how the class works. And before we get into that, I just want to say a few words about what the Sociology of Deviance is about. So, very broadly speaking, we can think about deviance within the realm of sociology as being largely about expectations, social expectations for our behavior. And in sociology, we call those expectations social norms. You've probably heard that term before. We'll get a little more technical, though, than what we, are everyday sort of thinking about a term like social norms. There's a couple things that go along with that idea of social norms that we'll be thinking about in this class. One of the main ones is the consequences of social norms, of either deviating or breaking social norms or conforming to social norms, right? So if you break social norms, there's always a consequence for that, and we call that a sanction. And it can be anything from, a disapproving look, if you say the wrong thing in the wrong social context, all the way up to being put in jail for, put in prison for your life, or even, executed if you break the most severe of society's social norms. So there's always a consequence, and there's positive consequences for going along with social norms. And that brings me to the sort of the flip side of deviance, right? Deviance is breaking these social norms. The flip side to that is what we call conformity, right? And again, we've all heard of this word conformity, and sometimes conformity has sort of a bad sort of connotation to it, like you're a conformist or whatever. But a large percentage of our behavior in our day is spent conforming, largely subconsciously, to social norms. It's sort of what makes social interaction work, right, smoothly, is subconsciously conforming to a great number of social norms for our expectations. Everything from how we talk and communicate with each other to how we look and how we dress and how we make ourselves appear with hairstyles and makeup and all these sort of different things. All the way through more important kind of behaviors, things that we'll be covering in this class, things like substance abuse and use, right? Drug use and abuse, human sexuality, right? The many different facets that takes on. Things like organizational behavior is sort of a more advanced topic that we'll be getting into, and the social enforcement of norms, right? All of these things are topics that we'll be covering in this class, and many more. So that's the other thing to mention, is that we'll be looking at these from basically the three sociological theoretical paradigms that you should be familiar with from your introductory sociology course, namely structural functionalism, conflict theory, and symbolic interactionism, right? And each one of those perspectives, or theoretical perspectives, has a different way of looking at deviance and conformity and social norms and all of these things, and they have different take on it. And we'll be looking at also different methodologies that sociologists use to examine these questions about social deviance. So a lot of things that we'll be getting into in this course. So I hope that piqued your interest a little bit, gives you a little idea of what this course is about and what kind of things we'll be covering. Let me just quickly go over some of the more technical details of the syllabus and WebCT. Here's the WebCT page for this course, and it looks a little sparse right now, but this will fill up as we go through the semester. Every new module we cover will be added to this front page here, so in a few weeks there'll be much more on this front page here. So this idea of modules, that's how this course is organized, right? So a module is a topic or a chapter, you can think of it, and every week we'll be doing a new module. And the way it'll basically work is every Monday we'll introduce a new module will appear on your front page, and you'll be given the readings for that week, right? Usually a couple readings out of the book, and usually a couple external readings that I'll provide electronically through WebCT. And then on Friday, your work will be due for the week. And the work in this class takes two forms. We'll have a quiz every module, every week, that will be due on Friday, and then we'll have online discussions using the discussion board on WebCT. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, right? That's all you have to do every week is do the readings, and then by Friday evening, 11:59 p.m., by the end of Friday, you have to have completed your quiz and your discussion post. Now, like I said, that doesn't sound like a lot, only these two things, but there's a lot of flexibility built into those, and I will be able to make the quizzes and the discussions variable in how challenging they are for us and how complex they can be. Some of our discussion posts will be quite in-depth and will require you to do a lot of work and a lot of writing. And as well, the quizzes can be a variable number of questions. The quizzes will always be either multiple choice or true-false questions, but they could be longer or shorter depending on the complexity of the material we're covering for that week. So, like I said, it gives me a lot of flexibility to make the work more or less challenging as needed. So our first module is actually quite simple, though, this week. If you click on the course introduction, it's really quite simple. It looks a little different right now because this video that I'm recording right now is not on here yet. I'm going to post it on here. So this page will look a little bit different when you look at it. And you'll be seeing this video on this page. So it'll look a little bit different. But basically what I'm asking you to do on this module is to read the syllabus. You can access the syllabus either here or back on the front page. There's a link right there, course syllabus and schedule. To read the syllabus and to make a few posts here. So orientation is this page, syllabus. There's two discussions that I want you to do for this week. Again, very easy. We don't have any real material yet, so the one discussion post is to introduce yourself. And there's instructions if you click on this, introduce yourself. I just ask you to write, a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself to the class. So do that. And please read through your fellow students and get to know your fellow students in this class by reading their introductions. Also, you can post a picture and a brief biography of yourself on the roster page, and there's a link for that as well, right here. The second, if we go back to the orientation page, the second discussion post that I ask you to do today is even simpler. It's a syllabus Q&A. Basically, I'm asking you to read the syllabus. If you have any questions about it, please post your question there. If you don't have any questions, please just write, I don't have any questions about the syllabus. And you can see some people have already done that. So, pretty simple for this week. And then there's a quiz. Again, it's a very simple quiz. There's a link to it right there. It's basically to familiarize you with the quiz system on WebCT and how that works. I think it's 9 questions about the syllabus that you've read in the course introduction. So, again, very easy. If we just take a quick look at the syllabus, if you click on the syllabus link, it's a PDF file, so it will open up either in your browser or in Adobe Reader, however your computer is configured. A pretty basic syllabus here. Oops. Pretty basic syllabus. Just trying to zoom in a little bit. Okay. Again, my name is Darrin Kowitz. You can contact me using the email within WebCT. There's a link on the side right over here for email. I'll say a little bit more about that in a minute. I do have office hours, physical office hours, on Monday and Wednesday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. in the Social Sciences building, the Sociology department, room 1063, and also by appointment. But I would hope that most things for this online course we should be able to resolve through email. But I am available if you need to meet with me. I'll let you read through this. There's a basic course overview, course objectives, the textbook. I want to say a word about that. This is our required text for this course. It is Constructions of Deviance, Social Power, Context, and Interaction by Patricia and Peter Adler. This is the 7th edition. I do need to insist that we all have the 7th edition. There's a lot of other editions floating around out there, but it's pretty important that we're on the same one because they're quite different. So if you have the 6th or the 5th, I'm going to need you to either return that or get the 7th edition. It's in the bookstore at UNM, and it's also widely available online. If If you have any problems with that, email me. If you need to order it and it's going to take a week or something like that for you to get the book, email me and I'll work with you, for the first week or whatever until you get that. But we actually won't need this until next week, so you do have a week to get the book. A brief word here: your final grade composition. We have a final exam in this class. There's no midterm, just a final exam in December. That's worth 35% of your grade. That's a lot, and the reason for that is because it's an open book exam. It's an essay exam, and it's going to be quite a bit of writing, but it's open book and a long time period for you to do it. So you have a lot of factors in your favor for doing good on that test. The quizzes that we have each week, all of the quizzes contribute to your final grade, and combined they make up 30% of your final grade. And then participation in online discussions is 35% of your final grade. It's a little more important to me than the quizzes because you're actually writing and not just doing multiple choice. So the online discussions are pretty important for this class. Grading scale, pretty basic. May or may not be able to get an A+ in this class. To get an A+, you need over 100 points. I haven't quite decided yet if that will be possible in this class or not, if I'm going to have any kind of extra credit or anything like that. Maybe if I'm petitioned adequately by students for that, I can come up with something, but as of right now, I don't have it. Of course, 59 and below is an F. Please, nobody get an F. The sociology department requires a C- or above for credit toward a major or minor in sociology. If you're a Soc major, I would have the high social expectation for you to do much better than a C-. Class discussions, there's some notes in here about, we may be talking about contentious or emotionally charged issues at times in our discussions, basically asking you to keep it cool, don't attack each other if we have different opinions, keep it academic and civil, but of course, don't shy away from controversial topics. Assignment due dates, things are due when they're due. Unless you have some kind of a documented emergency, we won't really be accepting late work in the class, so that's pretty important to get stuff done on time. We have a pretty predictable schedule with the Monday, Friday thing, so... and then here's the course schedule. This is just a basic course schedule. It doesn't have a lot of detail. It just shows the dates when each module will be doing, but it doesn't show the details of the module. And then the final exam, I'm putting December 16th on there. That's the last day of exam week. So my idea is that I'm going to give you that whole final week of class where the exam is open for you to do. So again, that's a lot in your favor for doing very well on the final exam. Okay, that's the syllabus. You can go back to this page. Like I said, there's mail. Use this to contact me. Pretty basic. I try to keep the class simple as far as the tasks that we have to do, with basically just a final exam, discussion posts, and quizzes every week. But again, like I said, I have the flexibility with those to make them quite challenging, and depending on the complexity of the readings for that week. So this first week, pretty easy. We don't have a lot to do. I'm going to spend this week filling in the calendar that's on here. I'm going to be filling in more detail about what's to come and what the different modules will be covering, some of the content of those modules. So check back and look at that. But otherwise, really we get into the meat of the class starting next Monday when we have some readings on the theoretical paradigms of sociology that we'll be using to look at deviance. So that's it for right now. Please email me if you have any questions about this. I look forward to having an enjoyable semester in this class. I enjoy teaching this class. The discussions get really interesting in this class. I think you'll find they're quite interesting and engaging to hear each other's opinions about these things and personal experiences and stuff like that. So it's a good class. Email me if you have any questions, and again, let's have a good semester. Thanks.